ISO 19650 has been the backbone of BIM-based information management for years. But in 2026, it's changing, and not just a little. The upcoming ISO 19650 revisions represent a major shift away from BIM-centric thinking toward full information management across the entire asset lifecycle. In this video, we'll break down what the current ISO 19650 standards look like, what's changing in the 2026 update, and how the new version compares to the old one in practice. Let's start with where we are today. The current ISO 19650 series was first published between 2018 and 2022. It defines how information is managed when using Building Information Modeling or BIM. The standard is split into multiple parts. Part 1 covers core concepts and principles. Part 2 focuses on the delivery phase, design and construction. Part 3 covers the operational phase. Part 4 defines information exchange. Part 5 focuses on security minded information management. And Part 6, added recently, covers health and safety information. In the current structure, delivery and operations are treated as separate worlds with different processes, documents, and responsibilities. The whole system is heavily framed around BIM models, files, and exchanges, which worked well but also introduced limitations. So, why change it? The industry has moved on. Owners now care less about models and more about usable, trusted information, data that supports operations, analytics, digital twins, and decision making over decades. The result? ISO 19650 is evolving from a BIM standard into a true information management standard. One of the biggest changes in the 2026 draft is philosophical. BIM is no longer the center of the universe. Instead, the focus is information management, regardless of format, models, databases, documents, sensor data, or asset registers. This is reflected in major terminology changes. EIR, Exchange Information Requirements, becomes IPR, Information Production Requirements. BEP, BIM Execution Plan, becomes IPP, Information Production Plan. MIDP and TIDP are replaced with a Unified Information Production Schedule. These new terms shift attention away from how information is modeled and toward why information exists and how it supports outcomes. Another major change is how lifecycle is treated. In today's ISO 19650, delivery and operations are clearly separated, Part 2 and Part 3. In the 2026 revision, that split disappears. Instead, ISO 19650 introduces a continuous lifecycle approach. The assets information model is no longer handed over at the end of construction. It becomes an enduring information resource, updated and governed continuously across design, construction, operation, maintenance, and future upgrades. Projects are no longer the main event, they are just interventions within a longer asset lifecycle. The old standard had different workflows depending on phase. The new draft introduces a single, unified information management process made up of roughly 9 core steps. Another important clarification is the separation between information management, deciding what information is needed, why, and when. Information production, actually creating and updating that information. This helps define accountability much more clearly, especially for asset owners and operators. The common data environment also evolves from a file sharing platform into a governance system supporting metadata, approvals, traceability, and assurance. So let's summarize the difference. Old ISO 19650, BIM centric, delivery and operations separated, focus on models and exchanges, phase based processes. ISO 19650 to 2026 draft, information centric, continuous life cycle, focus on outcomes and usability, unified governance and production process. If you're using ISO 19650 today, this isn't a reset, but it is a mindset shift. Expect changes to terminology, documentation, contracts, and certification schemes. The goal is simple: better information for the entire life of an asset, not just better models.